Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday. I thought I would give you guys an interesting observation on the rise of Turkey, which is really the the revival of the Ottoman Empire. And this revival is being seen in the South Caucasus. It's being seen in Azerbaijan, where Turkey is in control. And Azerbaijan is the country that Turkey essentially led in a war against Armenia. When people talk about the most recent conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia, people say, oh, it's Azerbaijan versus Armenia. Just so happens that Turkey was just helping the Azeris out. Just helping the Azeris out because, the Azeris are just a good friend, and Erdogan is such a swell and nice guy. So, they just want to help their little Azeri friends, their Azeri neighbors, to defeat the mean Russian allied, Iranian allied Armenians, because the Armenians are just so evil and just evil and sinister people. And just so happens that Turkey is leading a war against the people that it tried to exterminate just around 100 years ago. No big deal. Nothing to see here, guys. Nothing to see here. Washington says that Turkey is an ally and we should back it 100%. Just listen to Washington, It has nothing to do with the fact that, Turkey is a major member of NATO. It's the second most armed country in NATO. Nothing to do with that at all right? Just trust what the politicians tell you. But the fact is that Turkey really was the one leading the war against Armenia. People say, no, it's Azerbaijan. It's Azerbaijan versus Armenia. Nothing more than that. The reality truly is that Turkey was at war with Armenia and still is at war with Armenia. There was an interesting article that came out recently on the Armenian Weekly, and it was written by Harut Sassounian. I'm probably butchering his name there, but that's how I see it. Anyway, Mr. Sassounian makes a very interesting observation that truly this was a Turkish victory over Armenia, not an Azeri victory. And he references the fact that they were 3 Turkish generals who led the Azeris against the Armenians, and he names them. Lieutenant General Sheref Ongay, Major General Batyar Ersey, and Major General Guksel Kaya. And he talks about some political scheming that was done between the Azeris and the Turks, in which Azerbaijan's Minister of Defense, Necmettin Sadikov, he was Azerbaijan's first deputy minister of defense and the chief of general staff. Necmettin Sadikov was against Turkey's increasing encroachment onto Azerbaijan's government, increasing control over Azerbaijan's government. And he saw that Turkey was really taking away agency from Azerbaijan and deepening its control over the country. And Sadikov was against this. Well, they accused Sadikov of being a Russian spy, and they removed him from his post. Mr. Sassounian makes the observation that it truly was the influence of Turkey that led to Sadikov's dismissal from his position as the defense minister. And, well, it makes a lot of sense, Wasn't too long before these generals began to have a huge influence on Azerbaijan's military. All of a sudden, these Turkish generals come in. Sadikov is removed. It makes perfect sense that Turkey would have a say in that. But the fact is that these 3 Turkish generals played a huge role in Azerbaijan's victory over Armenia. And that's why I say, and that's why I believe, that truly this was a Turkish victory over Armenia. The Ottoman Empire is reviving, everyone. It is truly reviving. We've been waiting for the day. My father has been talking about this for many, many years, decades, really. And yeah, it's quite amazing. It really is. The Ottoman revival is manifesting itself, and it's really just a repeat of history. Well, not really a repeat, because history doesn't completely repeat itself, but it is definitely a rhyming of history. The Ottoman Empire backed Azerbaijan in World War One. The Ottoman Empire and Azerbaijan had huge connections, and Turkey and Azerbaijan today share these connections. They perpetuate these connections. And people are waiting for the Illuminati to pop up from the chimney and take over the world. People are waiting for, the Bilderberg group or something like that. And of course, I'm not saying there isn't any influence from these elite groups, but nonetheless, we have to also factor in the historical reality. We have to factor in the historical precedents, because history does rhyme with the future, and it rhymes with the present. And so we can't just say, well, I think what's going to happen is that the Antichrist is going to pop out of the mountain, and he's going to make like a giant, race of robots, and they're just going to invade the world together. It's like you have to factor in history. You have to factor in the fact that it's like, no, Russia had an empire at one point in time. Turkey had an empire. Germany had an empire. Japan had an empire. All these countries had empires at one point in time. And they were slaughtering tens of millions of people in the 20th century, and they want to come back. It really is that simple. And there's going to be other things that will take place as well. It's not all going to be the same as what happened in the past, but what happened in the past is going to have parallels with what is going to happen in the future. So we are living history, and the Ottoman Empire is reviving. In fact, there's a quote that really talks about how what happened between the Armenians and the Azeris is truly a Turkish victory, and thus really a mark of a mark of what is transpiring, and that is the revival of the Ottoman Empire. And this quote is from a Russian newspaper called Zigliad. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'll put the word on the screen here. The newspaper says, Artsakh War's plan was Turkish. The generals were Turkish, and the drones were made in Turkey. Baku can celebrate victory, but in terms of command and control, Turkish generals can celebrate victory. And truly, this is an indicator as to what is transpiring before us, and that is the revival of Turkish power.